Okay, reduction formula. This is what you need to do or how to approach a question, right? Over here, I have sine 180 degrees plus theta, so it's already given to us. So we know 180 degrees plus theta is in quadrant 3, and as you can see in quadrant 3, only tan is positive. So you would reduce this to become, you put a negative, right? Sine theta. That's what it gets reduced to. Okay, the next one says cos 360 degrees minus theta. 360 degrees minus theta is in fourth quadrant. In fourth quadrant, cos is positive. So this here gives us cos theta, and it's positive. I would suggest putting it in brackets. I know when I was in school, I used to always make silly mistakes between having a negative number and having a minus sign. It used to always silly mistakes when it comes to signs. So I would suggest you put each one into a bracket. Okay, next one I have sine 180 degrees minus theta. This here is in second quadrant. In second quadrant, we know that sine is positive. So this here is going to be positive sine theta. Once you're done with that, we can now cancel things out. So we're going to cancel the sine over here with the sine over here. I still have a negative on top, and at the bottom I have cos. So my final answer is going to be negative 1 over cos theta. And that's our answer. The next question we have is this one over here. So I have tan 180 degrees plus theta. That there is in quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, tan is positive. So it gets reduced to tan theta. Minus, put the 2 because that was in the question. It says tan of 180 degrees minus theta. That there would be in quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, tan is negative. So negative tan theta. Then we simplify. So this first term, I can't simplify anything further, so it's going to just be tan theta. Negative and negative gives me a positive 2 tan theta. Now we go back to our grade 8 and 9 knowledge of adding and subtracting like terms. These two are like terms, so we just add the coefficient. So 1 plus 2 gives me 3 tan theta. And that's my answer. Okay, and now a question where we have numbers and we're going to have to use our reduction formula and special angles. So the first step when we're doing this is to first reduce each of these angles. To do that, you need to ask yourself, where does 330 lie? It lies in the fourth quadrant. Okay, and because it lies in the fourth quadrant, it's going to be cos squared 360 degrees minus something. So 360 minus something needs to give me 330, and that something would be 30 degrees. Minus 1 all over. Same thing over here. 150 degrees lies in which quadrant? It lies in the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, we know it's 180 minus. So it's going to be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees to give me the 150 degrees. And the same thing for sine 300. That's in the fourth quadrant. So sine 360 degrees minus 60 degrees to give us the 300. Once you've done this, you then need to consider all the signs of each of those quadrants. So in the fourth quadrant, because this is fourth quadrant, cos is positive, right? So cos squared 30 degrees minus 1. Remember I said we put it in a bracket just to make sure we know what our signs are, over tan in the second quadrant, because 180 minus, it's negative, so negative tan 30 degrees multiplied by sine. This here is 360 degrees minus, so that means it's in the fourth quadrant, and in the fourth quadrant sine is negative, so negative sine 60 degrees. Once we've come to this point, what we need to do is we go back to our special angles and write down what they are. So cos of 30 degrees would be x over r. So our x value is root 3 over r value of 2. So this here is going to be root 3 over 2 all squared minus 1 over cos of, tan of 30 degrees, we already discussed this earlier in the previous video. It's going to be 1 over root 3. Don't forget there's a negative sign in front, so negative 1 over root 3. Okay, multiplied by sine of 60 degrees. So sine of 60 degrees would be y over r. Our y value is root 3. Our r value is 2. Negative root 3 over 2. The negative comes from there. Then what we need to do is cancel things out. So in the denominator, root 3 and root 3 cancel out. Negative and negative cancel out. In the numerator, root 3 squared gives me 3 over 4. Because 2 squared minus 1 all over. In the denominator, I just have, 1 over 2. Okay, what you can then do is you can plug this thing onto your calculator, but remember this type of question will say without the use of a calculator, or alternatively you're going to use your grade 6, 7, 8 knowledge of fractions. Okay, so this here would be 3 over 4 minus 4 over 4 divided by 1 over 2, which equals to negative 1 over 4 divided by a half would mean the same thing as multiplied by 2 over 1, because tip in times. And this here would give me, this cancels out, I have 2 as your final answer.